This will go on for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Welcome to Barahsinghe Gears and Riffs, Season 2. So double the fun and double the energy. Today I have the immense pleasure of welcoming on the show one of the savants of the guitar. Wahako guitaring say is respected, is appreciated, is imitated but never duplicated because he is a man of his own. Would you please welcome on the show, Mr. Diwas Gurung?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And before we get to the nitty gritty.
Oh wow! Thank you. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, thank you for being on the show.
Okay, cheers.
And cheers. Thank you. Powered by Barahsinghe, supported by Little Star Records, and of course, Guitar Shop. We have something from them soon on the show. Thank you so much. Show ma aidinu bhakoma. You are तपाईलाई त खोज्दै गइरहेको थियो. When can we find you on the show? Thank you so much for coming. How are you, Dai, and how is music?
I'm good. I'm on the last week of I'm going back to the US in a week. But I stayed for about 4 months. Did a lot of shows. Did a lot of recording, and yeah, it's been really fruitful past couple of months.
Okay. Yeah. And musically, Dai, you're working with you're doing shows, tours. And त्यसपछि you are working with multiple artists.
Yes.
So
yes,
how has that experience been this time?
It's been good. I'm working with a lot of up and coming artists, and it's always nice to work with them face to face.
Yes.
And some artists I've worked with before, and I'm meeting for the first time. Face to face, and धेरै कुरा चाहिँ अलिकति clear हुन्छ once you're talking, once you get a feeling of the person. Online it's like you either Zoom or emails, and त्यसरी नहुने होइन. It just is a little bit longer process. त्यसो गर्दा चाहिँ.
Of course.
And yeah, it's been really nice. And played a lot of shows. Had like a different band this time. Last time say Abhishek केरासँग गरेको थियो. यसपालि चाहिँ a little bit different band, little bit different approach to the music, and it was a very nice experience for me as well.
Fantastic. Let's first of all talk about the beautiful guitar in your hand. Your guitar चाहिँ मैले वर्षौंदेखि तपाईसँग देखेको छु हैन. Tell me a little bit about this guitar. This is a Telecaster.
So this is a GNL ASAT भन्ने model हो.
Yes.
GNL stands for George Fullerton and Leo Fender.
Leo Fender, the guy who made Fender guitars
who
originally.
Invented the Telecaster.
Yes.
उसले अब उसको Fender company बेचेपछि चाहिँ he started this company.
Yes.
So these are the things that he wanted to take the Telecaster to the next step.
Yeah.
So all the changes he made to the Telecaster is all in this guitar. अनि मलाई पनि थाहा थिएन किनभने यो चाहिँ नि मैले about 2008-9 तिर किनेको हो.
Oh wow.
So I was in Ayurveda, and त्यसपछि one show my guitar fell and headstock broke.
Oh no.
So I smashed the guitar on stage. There's no turning back. No turning back. And this is after a week we were like, okay, let's go buy a guitar, because I wanted to buy a Les Paul this bela.
Right.
So I went and looked at a couple of guitars, but they was a little bit out of my price range.
Okay.
And I played a Les Paul that I really liked, which was a Les Paul Studio.
Right.
And I still like the Les Paul Studios, but it's something about it was like a little too expensive, and I didn't want to go into debt.
Right.
And this was like in the corner, just in the back, just lying, not even on a guitar stand, just lying there. And GNL is like, a lot of people still don't know your company. And back then, like, not people didn't know what it was. And I played it, and what stood out to me was like you pick up with sound. So you have somewhere between, it's not a single coil though, but a single coil Telecaster sound, thicker sound.
Right.
And like humbucker just to intense, somewhere in between. But it's also different than a P90. So this is like his own invention.
Custom
Leo
pickups.
Fender.
And this is your doing, the channel?
So, yes, it was red.
Oh, okay.
Totally red.
Okay.
And I hated the color. Now I look back in photos and it's a little bit romantic. I said, oh, I wish I'd kept the color. But my plan is I'm going to strip it,
right,
and then refinish it whatever I wanted. But that took like 4-5 years to lie.
Right.
And I kitchen sander किनेर विज गरेर हैन अनि किचन रातो the red thing was
Dust,
all over.
no.
I was young, like no brain हुन्छ त्यही बेला त्यस्तै हो नि and then I bought this maple wood and I stuck it on top हैन अनि त्यसपछि I finished it अनि यसको यो ट्रिमिङ चाहिँ this is यो लोक्टा पेपर हुन्छ नेपाली
Wow.
त्यो पोस्टर पाउँछ नि
Yeah.
which I guess म अस्ति खोज्न गएको थिएँ आजकल it's like very rare to find the lokta paper.
Yeah, not as much.
त्यही बेला चाहिँ अब it was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I put that and I lacquered everything and
Wow.
and at this point I'm stuck with this. I don't want to mess with this anymore.
Enough.
Enough messing with this.
Also, what gauge strings do you use?
Now I'm using 10 regular 10s. I think that's 10 to 46, 48. I don't know what the regular Diadari got 10 gauge string on.
Okay.
Ayurveda much we used to use 10 to 52, which is a custom gauge.
Okay.
So it's like really heavy bottom.
It's between 10 and 11.
Yes, somewhere in between. Oops, sorry. 10 and 11. You know, we were like tuned to E flat standard.
Okay.
And we would go to drop D.
Oh.
And we need like some heaviness to low range market. And our riffs were also like that, very like low string, low string focus.
Pork chop.
Pork chop, yeah. Yeah, for example.
Yeah. That your gearbox looks like an alien spaceship. There's a lot of new and a lot of old that I see in your gearbox. Please talk me through this. के छ यहाँ के गरिरहेछ त्यसले?
So सुरुमा चाहिँ यो synth 9 भन्ने pedal छ. It's like a synthesizer emulation type ko.
Okay.
So and there's like different modes that you can do different sounds. I mean, do you want me to play through them or like just
play through them.
Okay, so this might say one of the sounds is like this. It's the खालको भयो हैन अनि अर्को चाहिँ when I use a lot is like this.
Oh man.
But this is no MIDI city cables and just straight jack.
Wow.
Ani
so it's all the pedal.
It's all the pedals doing that. And from then I go to your M5 line 6 ko. This is like I use it for some modulation, tremolo, chorus, vibrato effects and it's some synth sounds also.
Okay.
What I like to do is costo bhane say I like these older Calco digital pedal because they're working at like the maximum of the abilities. Digital processing power. You feel like you can't master it just almost like it's unmasterable.
Right.
With about AI, I mean, it's just going to get further away from us.
Yes, sir.
So the thing about these older digital pedals is like they glitch and you sound just like you do like. So like I put things into these things so
to make something new.
To make something new, and also this pedal can't handle so much information. Okay?
Oh.
So like. It just freaks out.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
So I like that kind of thing.
Nice.
So this one is like modulation type, and these are say drive sectional.
Okay.
So you the clone pedals it's like super expensive. So this is supposed to be recreation.
A clone of clone.
Clone of the clone, but they like research and it's supposed to be like part to part.
Okay. Same.
Okay. And I really like this because a clone tube screamer is like used for that mid-range bump ko lagi ni. This has the same sound, but it's not as intense as the tube screamer.
Okay.
So usually because most of my shows I use like whatever amp is provided in the back line.
Right.
So I try to find like a clean sound that's just like normal.
Right.
And I use this to darken it a little bit and make sure the mid-range is there.
Right there. Oh.
Right there. Yeah. That's why I prefer like Fender type coke. And when I go already it's like kind of a scooped mid sound. So when you add this, it's like a very nice combination.
You get that perfect balanced sound.
Exactly.
Moving on to the next pedal.
So this one is Z-Vex company, a box of rock. So this is supposed to emulate JTM 45 Marshall head.
Wow.
So this is like I never use it just by itself.
Okay.
So just by itself is like this. This is the boy, no? So I usually have always this. This is a jalbino on, sir.
Okay.
So that's feeding into that.
Pass into the.
So it's like more.
Rock box.
It's a little bit more complex sound. amps भयो अनि यसमा चाहिँ सोलो बुस्ट पनि छ इट्स लाइक अ भोल्युम बुस्ट
Wow.
सो आई नेभर ह्याड टु रिलाइ अन द साउन्ड गाइ
To hear my solos.
अनि म साउन्ड चाहिँ गर्नु कहिले पनि अन गर्दिनँ क्या दिस इज माई साउन्ड भन्छ होइन लिड हामीलाई चाहिँ द्याट्स वाट आई प्रिफर अब बाहिर जे गरेको होस् लाइक फर मी द लाइक वेन आई प्ले अ सोल लाइक इट हेज टु कट थ्रु
Absolutely.
एभ्रिथिङ क्या
Absolutely.
अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ इट्स जस्ट goes into like this is my delay reverb section. It's in digital delay boss.
Very reliable there.
Yeah, but I use this mostly for duita setting. एउटा चाहिँ यो चाहिँ नि hold setting जस्तो छ. यो भयो तर थिचिराख्यो भने चाहिँ भएन अर्को चाहिँ यो लुपर सेटिङमा चलाउँछु. यसले चाहिँ एकचोटि थिचेपछि लुप हुन्छ जस्तै. Or you can play, or you can do like whatever you want, right? त्यसपछि चाहिँ wet भन्ने चाहिँ it's like a reverb pedal. I like to have like a reverb pedal instead of amp को reverb किनभने कहिले चल्दैन.
Of course.
It never works. I can't depend on the sound कस्तो हुन्छ थाहा छैन. This is like reliable. Like I know what this sounds like. अनि लास्टमा चाहिँ this is Ibanez को DE7 भन्ने delay pedal because you see मेरो जुन pedal setupमा everything can change but this will always stay the same.
Okay.
Because this is the first pedal I bought म US मा हुने बेला.
Oh wow.
अनि अनि Ayurvedaको sound is like a lot of this pedal too.
Right.
मैले यो pedal किनेपछि Tom our singer said that it changed the sound of the band भन्थ्यो उसले.
Oh wow.
पहिला we were like very dry अनि यो गर्न साथ it was like more like
a lot more ambient. Yeah.
Exactly त्यस्तो खालको.
Fantastic.
So that's what I have on my pedal board right now.
Fantastic. That looks great. Now, all of this, you sabai tapale over the years accumulate garnu bhako. Back to the 90s, back to your Puran Limbu days. When you were just growing up and first time music ma tapai busy rahtyo. And you were listening to music for the first time. Talk to me about what music were you listening to? Tapale live hi gare herna pairathyo ki what were you doing?
त्यही भएर त अब it was like whatever हाम्रो सिनियर दाइहरुसँग के क्यासेट हुन्थ्यो हैन अनि एउटा दाइ थियो he had like all the cassettes and he was Razor's Edge by AC/DC अनि अर्को चाहिँ Ugly Kid Joe को Ugly As I Wanna Be हैन or त्यसपछि sorry America's Least Wanted
that the one that has everything about you.
Yeah, everything about you. त्यो एल्बम चाहिँ मैले I learned it top to bottom.
Wow.
And I was play it like
so you know Slower Than Nowhere.
त्यसमा छैन
त्यसमा Slower Than Nowhere.
Okay. No. I think that's before I don't know. तर त्यो एल्बम चाहिँ अनि त्यति बेला चाहिँ मसँग त्यो स्ट्रेन्जरको डिस्टोर्सन पेडल थियो.
राइट.
अनि वावा थियो एउटा कहाँबाट थाइल्यान्डबाट किनेको प्लास्टिकको होइन अनि त्यो चाहिँ कस्तो भने त्यो थिचेपछि चाहिँ भल्युम हुने थिचेपछि वा हुने क्या त्यो अनि मैले किनेर लिएर होइन पसलमा त काम त्यो थिचे भल्युम सेटिङमा रहेछ क्या त्यो वा नै हुँदैन क्या त्यो भल्युम मात्रै भइरहेको छ अनि म त पुरा टेन्सन भइरहेको छ पछि झुक्केर थिचेपछि लाइक वा and that would go into मेरो घरको क्यासेट प्लेयरमा
of course
हैन अब त्यही भएर एम्प स्याम्प केही थिएन गिटार त बल्ल बल्ल प्यारेन्ट्सले किनिदिनु भएको थियो.
What was your first guitar then?
एउटा ट्रोन्याड भन्ने कम्पनीको थियो
of course
दुईटा सिंगल कोइल हो त्यही भएर आई थिंक आई प्रिफर सिंगल कोइल भनेर द्याट वाज आई थिंक a lot of my formative years was spent on two single coils. It's like the same combination अनि humongous headstock and the guitar weighed like ढुङ्गाले बनाएको जस्तो क्या एकदमै गरौँ त्यो त
नेक थियो त. So that was your first guitar then?
That was my first proper guitar, yes.
And त्यति बेला चाहिँ what was the riff that you listened to and that really blew your mind? त्यो बजाउनै पर्यो होला.
So first one that I really learned was Black Knight by Deep Purple. Yes and yeah. I mean, I don't know if I should play the full thing. But I mean, Deep Purple was huge. त्यही बेला अब Deep Purple नि खालि best of Deep Purple मात्र आउँथ्यो.
Right.
So I mean, I had no idea के छ के छैन. Highway Star अनि अब Ugly Kid Joe भन्ने उनीहरूको Neighbor भन्ने गीत त्यो भयो अनि त्यही बेला मैले I was obsessed. I was like when I started playing कस्तो भने मैले I started young but then I lost interest for a long time. त्यसपछि one day एउटा दाइ हुनुहुन्थ्यो निरज दाइ भन्ने he was अब हामीसँग अब अलिअलि इन्ट्रेस्ट भएको अनि समर भेकेसन हुन्थ्यो नि त्यहाँ फर्किनु बेला बाउ के लाइक त्यो होटल क्यालिफोर्नियाको त्यो होल बजाइदिने होइन हामी सबै कसरी म सोधेँ हाउ डिड यु कसरी तपाईँको यस्तो फास्ट भने एउटा विमल राई भन्ने सर हुनुहुन्छ त्यहाँ न्यू रोडमा अनि उहाँसँग क्लास लिन गएको थियो तर उहाँ चाहिँ स्ट्रिक्टली क्लासिकल के होइन नोटेसन पढ्नु पर्ने अनि त्यो मैले आई रियली ट्राई टु स्टिक विथ इट but I couldn't get त्यो तर मैले गरेँ 2 वर्ष त्यो गरेँ तर त्यो I feel like it's subconsciously it's still helping me even though I really resisted at that time हैन अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ 2 years जति ब्रेक भयो अनि त्यसपछि out of nowhere I got obsessed with the guitar कस्तो भने मेरो आमा चाहिँ युके जानु भएको थियो अनि त्यो बेला ओएसिस को वन्डरवल भर्खर आएको थियो अनि मलाई चाहिँ अनि त्यो बेला भर्खर ट्याब पनि आएको थियो इन्टरनेटमा अनि उहाँ चाहिँ मलाई ट्याबहरू पठाइदिनुहुन्थ्यो मलाई ट्याब भने केही पनि थाहा थिएन अनि त्यो अनलाइन हेर्दै ट्याब भने यस्तो हो सो वन्स आई लर्न हाउ टु रिड ट्याब्लेचर त्यसपछि चाहिँ म जान्थेँ अब हाम्रो न्युयोर्कमा क्याट सप भन्ने थियो अर्को प्रमोद दाई हुनुहुन्थ्यो ठमेलमा उहाँको सो गएर अनि सो आई गट एक्सपोज टु लट अफ गिटार म्युजिक अनि त्यसरी नै मैले सिक्दै गएँ अनि one of the big phase for me was like the G3 when the album निस्केको थियो Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Eric Johnson.
The live in Tokyo, the live in Denver.
This was before that. Oh, okay. The first one I think was he just said G3 live. Oh, he didn't say where. Okay. Somewhere. But I mean, I still listen to that album still now, and that was like a big leap for me guitar-wise.
Joe was on, Steve was on, and
Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson,
who is like my current out of all those guys, he's still
of course.
Amazing to me.
So this topic was international influence. You played a little bit of Black Knight, but what is the riff that you really want to play in terms of in those formative years? What was the riff that you were actually playing? We'll take care of the YouTube strike.
The Black Knight भयो अर्को एकदमै बजाउने भनेको of course Enter Sandman. Like a lot of like heavy stuff अनि अब अर्को चाहिँ अब because once I got into G3 त्यति बेला I was more of like a lead player.
Right.
Like I didn't care about rhythm त्यति बेला.
Right.
For like straight 2 years I was only lead. Like rhythm जसले बजाओस् म चाहिँ हैन अब त्यही हो. भयो just
of course
Steve Vai हैन Eric Johnson को चाहिँ अब बजाउने हैन. Anyways, Cliffs of Dover. That's just I mean I was like really into lead playing and shred guitar and त्यस्तो कुराहरु चाहिँ म it was like 3-4 years where I was that was it for me.
Strictly that's what you do. Yeah.
No vocal music.
Wow.
No rhythm guitar, only lead.
Only lead. That's meditation. Let's hear a fantastic international riff from you, then.
Okay, I have to go to the riff master, Tom Morello.
Tom Morello.
Right? Like that.
Amazing. Yeah, that's your favorite RATM song. I love Freedom. So choosing about international music was in that era Nepali music was blooming, guitar music was coming up. What was the Nepali riff or Nepali music riff that really put that dent on your music?
So there was 2 big memories for me for guitar specifically.
Sure.
एउटा चाहिँ 970 को फर्स्ट एल्बम हैन त्यो चाहिँ नि मेरो साथीले ओ यो एल्बम यो ब्यान्ड दामी छ. So the first song I heard was त्यो देउराली भन्छ हैन त्यसको चाहिँ like it was like such a shocking kind of sound for me. Guitar पनि एकदम warm.
यसरी पनि बजाउन सकिन्छ.
त्यही त जस्तो अब त्यस्तो एउटा स्किल चलाउनु भएको थियो उहाँले हैन. So that was like a big revelation 970 को फर्स्ट एल्बम. अनि त्यसपछि किन we were like into classical guitar पनि अनि त्यसपछि त्यो रातको भन्ने गीत छ नि
Yeah.
शून्यतामा म बजाउन चाहिँ बिर्सिसकेँ तर that was like a big influence.
Right.
अनि on the other side another big influence was the first Robin and Luza album.
Okay.
त्यसमा जति माया थियो नेपाली त I don't know how to play those songs तर that's what I used to listen to a lot and we used to cover it.
Right.
त्यही भएर so those were the two big Nepali influences at that time in my life.
Fantastic. I think तपाईँको जुन formative years मा नेपाली गीतहरू सुन्नु भएको थियो नि I would love to hear a longer version of like how would you scaling it down, how are you putting it down on your guitar?
जस्तो त्यही बेला एउटा अर्को एकदमै फेमस भनेको त्यो रेशम छ नेपथ्यको के हो something like रेशम त्यो एउटा भएन अनि
There was an urban myth that you composed this song.
Oh my god. I wish I composed that. त्यो अर्को चाहिँ अब यस्तै खालको जो हुका मेरो हैन तर यो चाहिँ नि इट्स नट मेरो आफ्नै भर्जन हो चाहिँ मैले बजाउने
Right.
हैन खाजा हरिदाले कम्पोज गर्नु भएको त्यो भयो एउटा अर्को I mean those are the two big ones.
Perfect. Also let's talk about the tone that you want to achieve the तपाईँको एउटा signature हुन्छ नि like preferred tone on stage while playing the songs on stage also. Is there a certain sort of sound that you're seeking also?
Yeah, definitely. It's saturated but not super bright, but also having the option to go bright. Okay? That's why I like single coils. Single already it's just like a bright sound. But I use the tone knob a lot, the volume knob a lot, so I can always. Basically, I'm looking for clarity without it being harsh.
Right.
Which is like the disco extreme say Eric Johnson. Right. He's like my Sunny. But he's also very like that's his philosophy too. Like clarity, but like having like a very dark sound. That's like my goal.
They also let's come back to your music. Now you have आधुनिक देखि लिएर रातो माटो देखि लिएर you have a huge body of work now. तपाईँको latest song पनि already release भएको छ. You're experimenting with new songs, तपाईँको neo 80s, what do you
it's whatever it is.
It is what it is. But out of all of these songs, what is that one riff that you, or couple of riffs, that you are really attached to, or something that is your go-to?
I mean, if you go back farther from Ayurveda time,
right?
Drop D Malambert.
Of course, that.
One riff that I'm really proud of is.
Before you play that.
Cheers.
Barahsinghe Gears and Riffs.
Cheers.
Supported by Little Star Records and Guitar Shop and apparel partner Greasy Laundry as well, as you were saying.
So I have like a plank time when the git, so that's like my favorite composition that I've ever done. And it's something like that. And orko chai drop D mein is like another one of my favorites is this it's a pork chop one
I know this
which
song.
you have sung with us. अनि as far as especially मैले नेपाली गीतहरु गर्न थाल्ने बेला चाहिँ this one is like I didn't really compose it.
Mm.
It was like me and my friend composed it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is this is like the last breakdown of Sanjoko Belako. Yo, boy, you know? So these are all heavy riffs. I mean, the more I start doing like less heavy stuff.
Yes.
This might say, let me tune up. One of the recent ones that I really like is this one.
That's a magical composition there.
So those are some of my favorite riffs.
And this and my personal favorite was Uchala.
Oh, Uchala, okay, wow.
That song, I just love the whole composition of that song. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
And yeah, my personal favorite. I've listened to all the albums, but yeah, my personal favorite is always Uchala.
Thank you.
Perfect. Also, let's talk about your music and how about the band is slightly different. The live setup ma dhime pani use garnu bhako cha. You're using, Briyat is also there, who's a fantastic musician.
Yeah.
Briyat Party, and he is on the acoustics and on the laptop.
Yeah.
So your live sound, how is it that you're approaching at this time that you're putting on in-ears also now?
In-ears is like I tried it once at Purple Haze, and I'm still not used to it. In the context of my own music, because when I tour with Sajan, I'm totally used to that because I'm inception
right.
Like that's how I know those songs. After music, I say it was a little bit of, but I think I will at some point switch to it more fully because guitar ekdam soilo cha in-ears ma.
Yes.
That's like ideal.
Right.
The guitar tones is still a little bit of a struggle.
A little bit of a problem.
People go to the digital things, the amp simulator, which I might mess around with, but I used to have the Line 6 ko to HX Stomp on it, Thulo, which I sold that.
Yeah.
So I might go for something a little bit smaller.
Fantastic.
So I'm trying that. But the philosophy is I really wanted, the reason I have Brihat in the band is I really want to have vocal harmonies.
Wow. Yeah.
That's something that is practice that was always like the afterthought. Harmonies. I told him like you'll play keys, guitar, main like role is like
harmonies.
To have harmonies.
Yeah. And he has such fantastic like folkish harmonies that it's so amazing.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this era of musicians, like this generations of musicians. There's a lot of good music that's coming out. And since the 2010s, in going into the 2020s, as long as you've been also active in the music scene, एउटा नेपाली हुन्छ नि आफ्नो peerको contemporary artist को चाहिँ यस्तो कुनै riff that हुन्छ नि that you wish, God, I wish I would have thought of that earlier. One of those.
I mean, like I listen to so many different kinds of music. So right now I'm like playing a lot of heavy riffs because that's what I'm feeling like playing right now. This time I have one that I really love, and not because I'm associated with that song, is Raat Ko Rani by Albatross.
Please play that song.
So I play what I know. It goes like that. I'll tell you why I like this one. It sounds like a riff that has existed for a long time.
Yeah.
And those are always the best riffs. And it has something new, but it's like that slow, odd time signature about it. Like it reminds me of like the best parts of Rage Against the Machine, Alice in Chains. Like the moment. It's also got like a modern sound. The main thing is like it feels like such a classic sound.
तपाईँले भन्नुभएको जस्तै 90s को त्यो grunge को वाला पनि त्यो sludge त्यो हुन्छ त्यो dirty नेस्पन्छ तर that modernism of हुन्छ नि the attack हुन्छ or the time signature हुन्छ नि त्यो पनि fantastic. But that can't be the only one.
Yeah, अर्को चाहिँ I mean which is like a complete opposite spectrum हैन. Let me tune up.
Sure, while you tune that, I'll.
Yes, it's an artist I really like, whom I've worked with before. उसको नाम is name is Diwas Gurung भन्ने भाइ.
Of course.
So let me find a nice setting.
It's somewhere in there.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
Like before you begin that, how about I top you right up?
Wow.
I've mastered the art.
Nice.
Now.
Thank you.
Cheers,
you.
Dave.
Cheers.
Bottoms up. No, I'm kidding. So yes, Diwas Gurung.
इस सङ्गको नाम चाहिँ चित्र भन्ने हो हैन. Yeah, that
wow, very soulful though.
It's a very beautiful song.
Very beautiful song.
I worked on this album with him, but this song was I only mixed it. Produce so like I'm more attached to this because I didn't work on it. I just mixed it. This is like a pleasure to work on it.
Absolutely. म त युगलको fan since his Hami days हुन्छ नि. Love that band. So when you're playing when you pick up the guitar there must be a practice routine that you go through.
Yeah.
And is it a daily abhyas जस्तै हो कि or what is it that you do as like in terms of noodling as soon as you pick up the guitar?
So there's different categories for that for me. So one is practicing before a show because I try not to go on stage cold. Okay?
Oh wow. So do you do a lot of exercises also?
So I do like some stretching, but more than that I do like stuff like simple to kura, just like
right.
You know, because or stuff like or anything to confuse the fingers alikati.
Right.
So त्यो गरेपछि चाहिँ when I go on stage it just feels much more natural.
Right.
अनि त्यो भयो. अर्को चाहिँ when I'm at home I like to practice more than practice I like to practice like looking for tones.
Okay.
And then those tones will like lead me to a different kind of playing. I'm always trying to work on my vibrato. That's like that's an
endless process.
What I like to do is I like to have everything going through my interface and headphone lagaya. I put some like random show
track
Netflix ma je auncha or whatever.
Okay.
And then I just like play whatever it is.
So this is your Sajan and Tarak Mehta moment.
Yeah. So I'm practicing just vibrato, or else I'm practicing like picking.
Right.
I mean, I don't really play like that live too much, but it's just like my shredder days. Like, I can never
revert back to
there's this ideal that I want to reach, which I don't think I'll ever reach it.
No, it's an endless.
It's endless thing.
It's endless thing.
So I'm like practicing too, like sweep picking,
alternate picking, double picking.
I don't really practice too many chords because I feel like I like to discover them when I'm writing.
Right.
Or I'm producing.
Right.
So like stuff that's like in the heat of, I don't want to go. I like going to theory for like lead playing or like say, but for chordal things, I try to leave it as untheoretical as possible.
So तपाईँले गीत compose गर्दाखेरि do you compose it by voice or by guitar first?
Mostly guitar first.
Mostly guitar first.
Or some sound or some drum.
What would be an example? Like how would you like usually compose?
So like I'll just be playing something, you know. On this basis, I'll find like a thing that I like. Sound section, and I'll loop that around. Or like I'll have this one song that I've been working on right now.
Sure.
This is new. So I had something that goes like. So that's like the basis, you know?
Wow.
And I was like, I want to have something where it's a bass and lead, bass lead type. So it was something like. But then I was like, I want to make it impressive, so I want to play it faster. So it's like. This is like basically having an initial idea and following through. Because once you have a first idea, that it sort of gives you like a path, and you're just filling in the details. You know, try like whatever sounds. I go mostly by ear.
Trial and error, keep going. And when you're doing that, what is happening on your gearbox? What are you using?
So this one is pretty simple. I'm just using mere clone going into the Marshall pedal. And going into a little bit of reverb. I have a little bit of tremolo on, but that's only because it was already on. I didn't know it was on. The tremolo is one of those things. It just adds vibe.
Absolutely.
Because people think tremolo, like you can use it subtly and you can have it on the whole time. And then not just live, like especially when you're like recording, you gotta have like all you get the emotion through the sound.
Right.
So like you just instead of just like having without it versus.
There's so much more.
Yeah, so you always feel there's like some kind of motion happening.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Also, like for a song like Hami Aayo, one of the most topical beloved out of many, Hami Aayo, plus also very a big staple in your live set also. Hami Aayo, break that song down for me. What are you doing in terms of how you approach that song and what happens in terms of the effects?
Okay, so Hami Aayo is like a long history to that. So if I trace it back, it starts when I was in Albatross for like the 1 year जति Albatross अनि त्यही बेला चाहिँ we were like really into Korn, हैन? अनि उनीहरुको 7 string हुन्थ्यो. अनि त्यही बेला हामीसँग 7 string थिएन. So I came up with the idea like यो E लाई
just okay.
So low A बनाइदियो क्या. So we would do like So we did like Korn songs, and then I always kept that idea, and I did like some other songs. There was a song called Sombar Satyanyas Bhanne.
What is the name of the song there?
Sombar Satyanas. It's only on my SoundCloud.
Where is it?
It's SoundCloud.
Sombar Satyanas.
That's what the diehard fans are like.
Yeah, people who find it, tag us.
So Tio, and then I was trying to figure out one day like how to play octaves, but like fast. Because this shape is like hard, fast. So I thought, what if I just tune this up? So I can play. So and then that just started from there. And one day I was just going. And I had that riff for like 2 years.
Wow.
It was just one of those things I had. And one day I was like, because I was listening to a lot of like African guitar players. They have like Mali guitar players. They have like a really unique way of playing. This is style. So I was just trying to like copy their style.
Right.
And I was like, oh, maybe this would go good. So it was like that, and then I came up with the. So that's like totally African guitar.
African guitar, wow.
And then from there, I got into another section, which is like.
Where did this come from?
So that's just another African. So unako kora bhanne instrument huncha euta. So I was trying to imitate that sound. Okay?
Oh wow.
So Hami Aayo is like a lot of African guitar influences in that song. So yeah, that's pretty much where.
Oh, now you know. Now you know.
You know the secret.
Now you know the secret. Thank you so much, Diwas. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
You've played all these great riffs. If you want to play 2 more, I'm good with it. But right now, from our great sponsors at Guitar Shop, we have 2 mantra avatars to give away this season. Because why 2? Because it's season 2. There are 2 tabs, there are 2 glasses, everything's 2. Deal with it. So if you could just put your guitar, right there on your lap, right there, and sign these guitars.
Okay, sure.
Right here. And here is the magic mark. Thank you so much. Both of these guitars will be available to win from a very, very authentic lucky draw. And nice little heart there, Dai. That's
I don't know what to say.
beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you. And to know how you can win these guitars, check the description or and follow Revolution TV on all platforms as well. And here is cue number 2. Also, Dai, thank you so much for being on the show. We also have some little goodies for you from Barahsinghe. This amazing umbrella.
Oh, thank you.
Because you know how the weather changes.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And this diary, of course, to write all your great songs in.
All my secrets.
All your secrets. There you go. And this mug to drown your sorrows away.
Yes. I will.
I will.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so as we're about to leave, maybe we do a little last jam.
Yes, sure.
So I'm scared of playing your songs there. You know, it's like doing a Dilip Kumar remake.
Oh no.
You don't know what you're gonna do with it. Okay, so I think I'm here. I think on this part.
Yep.
Why don't you go ahead there and I'll follow you. And before that, a little swing for the
Yes, please.
working man. Thank you so much, Dai.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. You want to start? You want me to start?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is Barahsinghe Gears and Riffs. This is Diwas Gurung and ASM. We'll see you next time.